The season being over, Brian Flores and Chris Grier met with the media to talk about what the future entails. And obviously, you guys want to know what they said about Tua, so let's jump into this. What is up, Finn fans? You can tell by the title. It's first press conference post 2020 season. I don't know if I made that title, but we got Chris Grier and Brian Flores met with the media. So I got the transcripts here, and it was a back and forth thing, you know. It wasn't just Chris Grier talking and then Brian Flores talked. It was a back and forth thing. So I'm going to tell you guys what they said and my thoughts on what they said. But before we jump into that good stuff, I have to announce the winner of the Patch Vibes t-shirt giveaway, the nice Grand Theft Auto style Miami Dolphins t-shirt. So this is what I did. Miami Dolphins didn't win, unfortunately. They lost 56-26. I don't think anyone would have predicted that. And going off of the 928 comments I had to comb through, no one predicted that win. There was a lot. So this is my credentials, right? First off, you had to get the pick right. So you had to have picked Buffalo to win, which, again, was a hard thing to do, and not a lot of people did it. But there was a few people who did pick Buffalo to win. And yes, they were Miami Dolphin fans. A few of them. And then there were scores that were getting close and close. Like there was 34-24, there was a 28-16. There was a 34-26 that I was like, wow, you got the Dolphins pick right. But then there was one pick that got the closest to both scores, and that is the winner of the t-shirt giveaway, and that is eDrape2275 with the score prediction of Buffalo winning 48-27. He got the closest to the score. So I'm going to, if you're watching this, email me your information and Patch Vibes is going to send you the t-shirt. If not, I'm going to reach out to you in the comment and get your information, and we will send you over the t-shirt. You won the giveaway from Patch Vibes. Shout out to Patch Vibes. They have fantastic stuff like the t-shirt and everything, and they contacted me and wanted to give you guys something in the giveaway. So be sure to go check them out. Use the promo code FREEPATCH to get the 25th anniversary patch. One other thing. A lot of you guys are asking me, hey, Doug, can you do this type of video? Hey, Doug, can you do that type of video? Look, I'm going to give you a quick little breakdown because I already started writing on my dry erase board. The dry erase board that's normally here for the scores is normally right here on my wall, and I write video ideas on there. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of some of the video ideas I have coming up for the off season. Maybe that entices you to hit that subscribe button. I am less than 500 away from 20,000 subscribers. I personally will be doing a huge giveaway once we hit 20,000 subscribers. I can't believe I'm almost at 20,000. I'm doing the biggest surprise letdowns of 2020. I'm doing a free agent, who we should re-sign, who we should look at in the free agent market. I'm doing, if Shane Gailey decides to retire or they part ways, who should we get as a new OC? Draft prospects. If you guys have been with me from jump, I break down all the draft prospects and give you my top 5 draft prospects. I do mock drafts, but that's not till later on because right now it's a little too early to do mock drafts. That's just a little tidbit of what I got going on. So if you haven't yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button and be sure to join the channel. But let's jump into the video. Let's jump into what they had to say. First things first, to Chris Grier, they asked him, how confident are you that Tua Tagovailoa is your long-term franchise quarterback? Can you rule out taking a quarterback in the first round this year? It's the first question they asked these guys, and I know for a fact you guys want to know his answer. He said Tua was Tua, apostrophe, comma, not apostrophe, there goes my brain, we're very happy with. He's our starting quarterback. He did a nice job this year coming in rookie with no offseason and the challenges of dealing with that. Very happy with him and looking forward to watching him progress over the next with an offseason here going into next year. And for us, we're not really talking about draft strategies or anything right now. The season just ended. We're just going through the process like we do all the time. We'll deal with that here in the future. So essentially, he came out and said, Tua's our guy. We like the way Tua progressed throughout the season. We like the way Tua did his thing. He's our guy. He's our starting quarterback for next year. But he also came in and said, but we're not talking about drafting. We're not talking about draft prospects. And this is also the same reason I'm not really in that mode or mock drafts and stuff like that, is because there's a lot of other things that are going on right now that they're not even looking at it. So I'm not even there yet. I will get there soon, trust me. But he's even saying that. So what does that mean? They like Tua. Tua's going to be the starter next year. Does that mean they're going to draft a quarterback at number 3? To me personally, it's very unlikely. Come watch the draft live stream. I'll be completely shocked if they do it. But I do see them drafting a quarterback. I don't think it'll be in the first round, possibly with the second round pick. It's a possibility. And like I said, if, say, a top-notch quarterback falls to them to 18, I don't see why not. Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson type situation where that quarterback keeps falling. Why is Wilson falling? He's still falling. He's there at 18. Dolphins grab him. I'd be like, we just got a top pick at 18. All right, I'm fine with that. Compete. Never saying I don't want Tua to compete. But taking him at 3, there's way more needs that need to be addressed than the quarterback, especially with how poor the receivers did at getting separation, how poor the offensive line did at helping with the run game. It's just there's way more that needs to be addressed than quarterback. They also asked him again, after drafting a quarterback, the combo turned to his recovery, getting him to the year after the injury, all that stuff. How do you think that process worked out with him? How important do you think it is they came to the season health-wise? And they said, I think Tua and our training staff, both groups that worked very hard in terms of getting them ready and prepared, as you talked about the challenges of last offseason. There was none. So I thought Tua did a great job with getting himself worked through the whole process, and then Kyle, who's the athletic trainer, and the rest of the training staff, dealing with laying out a plan for bringing him along, and when he was ready to go, and did a nice job of working himself through the season. This is the thing that I talked about the most because a lot of people wanted to talk about Justin Herbert versus Tua Tagovailoa, Burrow versus Tagovailoa. Tua didn't. When the 2-week training camp started, essentially was a month, but it was 2 weeks because that's when they actually started doing stuff. Tua wasn't out there from jump. Tua wasn't doing the things from jump because he was still rehabbing. He was still dealing with that stuff. So when Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow got out there running full steam ahead, Tua wasn't. So this is what I keep talking about. To compare the 3 isn't necessarily fair. Let's compare the 3 after this point next season. Again, if Tua is struggling and still having a hard time reading the defenses and still doesn't feel comfortable fitting the passes in tight situations, which you saw that chart I put in my last video, he gets about a 1 point something yard separation with his receivers. That's not good compared to all the other receivers. If he's still having that trouble, then I'm all for it. What is going on with this kid? But give it a chance. They asked, do you feel need to add dynamic playmaking receivers? Just talked about it. We also we always talk about Brian and I and Brandon Shore, the head of football and the scouting coaching. Competition makes everyone better, and we always talk about upgrading the roster in all areas. He's not saying it like the way I am. This is just how the way I read, so I don't take it as he emphasized all areas. There's places that we want to upgrade at all parts of the roster. And obviously having playmakers on offense and defense is what the great teams have, and we'll keep doing that here and trying to address issues on both sides of the ball. I just heard me say that I do not mind drafting a quarterback. I just feel like at number 3, bigger needs need to be addressed. But yeah, because linebacker, Micah Parsons I'd like to take. Because we saw Gruger Hill, we saw Landon Roberts, we saw a lot of these guys get injured or struggle. And you'll be surprised, like I said, when I make my free agent video, who the Dolphins should re-sign, all that stuff, which is coming soon, either end of this month or beginning of next month, because free agency is coming soon, you'll see how many of our linebackers are free agents. Hit that subscribe button. But yes, that's Brian Flores' motto. That's this Miami Dolphins motto now. Competition. Tua wasn't handed the starting position. Yes, you could say, well, he kind of was handed the starting position because Ryan Fitzpatrick was doing really well, and then he put him in there just because he was playing well in practice, and they showed, okay, he is capable to run this offense now. Let's put him in there. He had to sit for 6 weeks. Let's see what this kid can do because Fitz isn't our future. Tua is our future. So he wasn't handed the starting position. He had to earn it. And then once he started showing in practice he was doing well, they put him in there. Piggybacking on that question, if you desire to add competition and upgrade at all positions, is quarterback part of the calculus? That's what they asked Grier. Yes, every position. Like I said, it makes everyone great. Yes, I agree. That's me saying it, not Grier. History has shown it doesn't matter who it is, you're always looking to bring in guys that fit your system, that push the people and make them better. And so competition at every position, we talked about that last year when we were going through it. It's competition at every position, so yeah. But I also want to be clear that Tua is our starter and we're very happy with his development so far. I absolutely love what Chris Grier said here. And I absolutely love how he ended that statement by saying, but I also want to make it clear that Tua is our starter and we are very happy with his development so far. He is saying everyone needs competition. The quarterbacks need competition. Hell, Joe Montana had Steve Young nipping at his heels. Brett Favre had Aaron Rodgers nipping at his heels. Drew Bledsoe had Tom Brady nipping at his heels. I am all for competition at quarterback, wide receiver, running back, offensive line, defensive line, corner. Get Xavier Howard some competition and nip at his heels and not have him be content. All for competition. But I love at the end, he says, but I also want to make it clear Tua is our starter. We're very happy with his development so far. AKA, don't expect us to take a quarterback at 3. We will probably draft a quarterback because we need a backup. We don't know what Fitz is doing. And Ruddick and Stidham, I think his name is. So we'll probably add somebody, either in free agency or draft. But Tua is our starter. We like his development. Loved what he said there because yes, please get competition. Don't hand the reins over. Don't not have this guy compete like Ryan Tannehill. No one competed for the starting position for Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill was a quarterback, and every coach that came in was because they needed to fix Ryan Tannehill, because they needed to put pieces for Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill. No one ever came in and made Ryan Tannehill compete. Hey, you're struggling, kid. You're going to have to compete with so-and-so. Once Gerard got injured, here's the keys, Tannehill. It's your boat. Then they asked Brian Flores. This is for head coach Brian Flores and maybe for general manager Chris Grier as well. Do you plan on having all of your assistants returning in 2020 and you're coordinating positions? So they're asking, you firing Shane Gailey or not? Yes, we expect everyone back. Hopefully you're not jinxing me now. Last time I said that we lost Carl Dorrell and we lost Patrick Graham. So thanks. And he laughs, which seeing Brian Flores laugh is like seeing a unicorn in the wild. It's a beautiful thing. Hopefully not, though. We expect everyone back. So that ESPN article the other day talking about Shane Gailey getting fired is probably pissed off Brian Flores. A lot of you guys want to see Shane Gailey move on. I'd kind of like to see Shane Gailey move on. I'd like to see... I have a list, like I said, potential new offensive coordinators. I have a list of somebody like Bill Lazor who really helped out Josh Allen in Buffalo. Maybe him come over and be the offensive coordinator. Give it a little spoiler of that video, but I'd really like to see maybe some type of change at the offensive coordinator position. Then they asked Chris Grier. I want to ask about Emmanuel Ogbah specifically and how satisfied you are with his production. Also, two-parter, if you will. How does his emergence and a guy like Ginkle on the edge, how does that develop approach? How you might like a guy like Beagle, who is in a contract year. How do you fit these pieces together in the off season? So they're asking, you have a guy like Emmanuel Ogbah who did really well, Ginkle did really well. How does that factor into Vince Beagle, who's a free agent? Like I said, free agent video coming up. Fun fact, I didn't read this before I made this video. You're getting this all fresh off the dome, my reaction to what these guys had to say. So everything I was talking about with the linebackers, and that, I didn't even know they are asking these questions. He says, first of all, Emmanuel Ogbah did a good job for us this year. 9 sacks, 11th tied in the NFL. Very good year for us this year. That's me saying it, not Grier. I apologize to keep doing that. He's the right kind of person as well. He came in right away, worked hard. I think Brian and the coaching staff did a great job once they got to be around him. Not having the offseason with him to figure out what he does well and the strengths and the scheme. He just kind of took off from there once everything got the feeling for what he did best. And I said this. I said the offense and the defense was going to struggle because they couldn't really work together, gel together. For only 2 weeks they got to work with them. So it took them a minute, and it did. I said after week 4, you're going to see us take off. After week 4, we took off like a bat out of hell. So I was very happy and pleased with him in terms of Ginkel and guys. I would say Brian and the coaching staff deserves tremendous amount of credit for what they did this year in terms of the roster and having so many new players and young players with only one player of over 30 on the roster, Fitz, and their development plan and how they brought along these guys and the young players. I don't think they get enough credit in terms of Ginkel and stuff. Again, the season just ended. We're going through our process. So essentially he's saying, going through our process, I'm very happy. It sucks that we had no offseason because we didn't get the real good full potential out of these guys, but got to give credit to Brian Flores and the coaching staff, which you do. We won 10 games with the second youngest team in the NFL with no offseason, and they got the best out of them. 10 interceptions out of Xavier Howard. You have Manuel Agba with 9 sacks. You have Vince Beagle had a hell of a season. Even Jerome Baker, 7 sacks. Kyle Van Noy, a ton of sacks and tackles. Very good year. Even if you look at Tua Tagovailoa's numbers, and you want to compare him to a guy who's doing really well right now, Josh Allen's numbers. They're not that far off, and Josh Allen played a full season, so he got a lot out of him. They asked Brian Flores, I want to get the assessment of the offensive line. I think we all want to get that assessment. A lot of is made in terms of the resources used, free agent money used to improve the unit that struggled last year. Do you feel you got the desired outcomes? So essentially they're asking, do you think that what you did to the offensive line is well enough and you got what you wanted out of it? Brian Flores says, I think that group made a lot of improvements. Obviously, we played a lot of young guys there, along with 2 guys that we signed as free agents. I thought we made some improvements, but the next 4, 5, 6 weeks for us as a staff, to include Chris, we're going to evaluate everything. We're going to evaluate the offensive line, the D-line, the offense, the defense, special teams, first down, second down, third down, red zone, 2-minute schedule, anything we could try to do to figure out what we could do to improve this team. We'll take a look at the roster. Honestly, the process, coupled with the draft, coupled with free agency, we're just trying to create a vision of what we'd like the 2021 team to look like. That's what this process is. I think we'll probably have a better answer of the coupling weeks from now. So essentially, what they're doing now, and this is another reason why I'm waiting on the draft because we don't even know what they're thinking, is they have a lot to do, and they want to take what they did going from 5 wins to 10 wins, and they want to go from 10 wins to 13 wins. They want to go from second place to first place. They want to go for the number 1 seed. We don't know if next year they're going to have this seeding of having 7 teams make the playoffs. So that number 1 seed is incredibly important. And from what I'm hearing from Brian Flores, they're going to look at the entire team. They're going to look at the struggles, the ups and downs, and fix everything they can. They ask, what is the likelihood that Fitzpatrick will be back? What has he indicated to you that he is thinking of coming back? Again, we're going through the full process, a full evaluation. Like I said, we're evaluating everything. You don't do that on day 1. Chris and I both talked this extensively. We don't think the best way to make this decision. Obviously, Fitz, along with the other free agents, are going to be a part of the conversation. So essentially, they didn't answer the question. In a nutshell, just said, we don't know. Like I said, we're at the process of just trying to figure this out. Offensively, when you look at Tua Tagovailoa progressed in offense coordinator Chan Gailey's offense, what are the areas you think they've both been very complimentary working with each other? Where are the areas that you look at and say, communication-wise progress, do you think... The guys ask these questions in like 4 parts. Do you want things to improve with Tua and his comfort in the offense? Like, just ask. Where do you see Tua and where do you want him to get better? Why ask like such a convoluted question? If I was Flores, I'd be like, what are you asking me, man? Just get to the point. I think the communication improves just through overtime. I think that's the case at any position, offense, defense, special team. I think people are more comfortable as they gain experience. It's like any relationship. It improves with time. That's the vision right now. Essentially, give Tua some time. Let him understand the offense. Let him understand what's going on and move forward like that. They asked Chris Grier about the draft. Last year I asked you about the value of possessing the 5th pick. Can you talk about the options presented them with the 18th? We're not really going to sit here and talk draft strategy. I don't know why they ask these questions because you're not going to get anything out of them. He says the season just ended right now. It drives me nuts that the reporters do this, right? they'll ask, hey, what is your mindset on free agency? What do you think about doing with Vince Beagle? What do you think about that? Well, the season just ended on Sunday. We're in the process of this, and that. So we don't know about those things. All right, cool. But what about this free agent? This season just ended. We're not in that. Real quick cut in, because I look over to my left and I realize that this mic wasn't recording for that entire 20 minutes of the beginning of my video, and I said some really good things in there that I don't want to have to re-record. So I do apologize for the audio for the first 15-20 minutes of this video. It's going to sound real echoey and real doo-dooey. I'll try to fix it in post, but I don't know how much I can fix it. Let's just finish with what these guys had to say. So essentially, like I said, before I looked over and realized that my audio was crap, they asked him about the draft picks. Is he going to do anything? He said they're not in that process yet, so they're not really going to delve too much into that, because, again, he said before that they're not in that process of deciding what they're doing with the draft or stuff. They're more deciding on what to do with the team, players, this, and that. They asked Brian Flores, I think a lot of what 2021 might come down to is what you can do to maximize Tua skill set and make him more comfortable in the offense. What do you think those considerations would come to mind? It's a system, for example. Is the system right for Tua? So essentially they're asking, what is the best way you can get Tua ready? What is the best way you can get Tua going? Is it the system? There's all that stuff. And he says, I think you're way down the road right now. I think we're just kind of going to take it day by day. He says more, but in a nutshell, the season just ended. So these reporters are wanting answers for something they don't know yet. They don't even know if Chan Gailey's going to want to come back. You heard Brian Flores say we'd like all of our coordinators to come back. They don't even know if Chan Gailey's going to want to come back, or if they decide, hey, we're going to move on with somebody. Last thing they asked Flores was, thank you for a winning season. I think everyone appreciated that. What's the next step? What is the goal for the Miami Dolphins as far as accomplishing for this year? The goal is to get better every day and try to develop the people, the players, the coaches, the people within the organization. Develop ourselves and let the results take care of themselves. That's what we talk to the players about. Let's do a good job with our process, with our preparation. That was our message to them and about the offseason, your process, your preparation through the offseason. We'll do the same thing as far as the process and preparation, as far as our vision from what we want to the team to look like. We'll take it one day at a time, Brian Flores' motto, and we'll try to get better every day, and we won't leave any stone unturned. We'll do everything possible to bring results to the fan base, to the people in our organization, and that's the most important to us. That's something we do on a daily basis. And they ask Chris Grier the same question. Brian said it all. We've said it before. It's a process we're just taking day by day. We never set a timetable for anything. It's just about getting better each day, and that is all. And that's what these men had to say. Taken away from it, for one, the media was asking too many questions about the future, about the draft, about free agency, that they're not ready for yet, meaning they're not in that mindset of, okay, these are the guys we're going to move on from, being that the season ended a day ago. So I wish they asked a little bit better questions. But the question about Tua, the question about the players, and the question about getting better, I loved the answers for competition. I loved how he emphatically said Tua is our starter, though. But like I said in the crappy audio in the first half of this, competition at all positions. I'm not saying I don't want them to draft a quarterback. I'm not saying I don't want Tua to compete. Yes, I want him to compete. And yes, I want him to draft a quarterback. I just think bigger needs are at that top position. But be sure to comment below. Let me know how crappy the audio was when I realized for 20 minutes, I was talking for 20 minutes. I was reading and talking. Then look over here and you get to hear the absolute booty hole of audio. I do apologize for that. But like I said, it was 20 minutes. And I felt like I said some really good things. And for me to try to record it all and remember what I said, it wouldn't be authentic. And I like to give you guys some real authentic stuff. So be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think of this video. For comment of the day, I just really want to thank you guys. And I really want to say that this season, because I didn't get a chance to say this in my year review, but I just really want to thank you guys, right? We've got a ton of subs. And I say we because without you, there's no me. We got a ton of subs. Like I said, we're almost at 20,000, and I want to do something very big for you guys at 20,000. But I want to thank you guys. The season's been a fantastic ride. 2019 was hard. It was hard. But, you know, you guys subbed to me. You guys joined the channel as through a hard season of not winning a game for 7 weeks. And then, you know, doing really well for the second half of the season. And this season was just a great up and down. A great, mostly ups, though. Like I said, we didn't lose back-to-back games after week 2. So I want to thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for being here. I have so much planned for the offseason. If you've been with me from jump, you know. If you haven't, welcome. You're going to enjoy this ride because I give you guys a minimum of 3 videos a week in the off season. What the heck do you talk about, Doug? Don't you worry your pretty little head. I got a lot to talk about. I do live streams during the off season where I bring you guys in, we chat, we talk about stuff. I have a lot of that stuff, especially the MVP Patreons. This is where you guys get to start being brought in and all that stuff. So if you join the Patreon, you're an MVP. You will be brought on to discuss Dolphin stuff. If you want to join the Patreon, it's linked below. But like I said, thank you guys very much for the support. There's a lot going on. Free agency, I'm getting ready for. I'm going to get ready for the draft. I'm getting ready for playoffs. If you guys want me to talk about playoffs, I'll do playoff stuff, which I'm going to do playoff stuff. I love football, so I want to thank you guys. Expect a lot of Tua talk. Expect a lot of people saying Tua's a bust, Tua sucks, Tua this. A lot of you guys want me to talk with TD. Me and him are working on a way of getting a collab together. He has a completely different mindset of Tua than I do, so it would be a great collaboration. Me to go on his channel, him to come here to talk and debate Tua. So that's a lot I got planned. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I do apologize for the crappy audio in the beginning. And thank you guys. I know the guys who stay all the way to the end, especially for these long videos. Thank you. It means the world to me. But like usual, guys, stay classy. Fins up.